my question is, once the self-realization happens in that space, you talk about, like, it seems like you very much enjoy the life. And my question is about the parts that happen, like depression or like mental pain.
Yeah.
Of course, physical, of course.
Yeah.
But, or like those moments that, that are the lower moments, do they still happen? Or it's more because we are disconnected, that's why they happen?
Yeah, I don't know about like mental illness.
No, not illness, I meant like not being well. You know, like
Oh, yeah.
feeling low or like
Yeah, that's
feeling depressed or things like that.
I don't know what being depressed is to other people. My personality feels quite vital now. But yesterday or the day before, I was ill in bed most of the day. And even now, I'm experiencing a little bit of pain. I'm not quite sure the whole talk if I need to run to the toilet.
But before, previously, have you experienced like depression or like...
I experienced this thing when I was about 25 where I called it existential despair, where I'd wake up in the night and I would be so much in panic. Like I'd be panicked, like, why am I alive? What's my meaning? What's my point? And that was really awful. But I had taken for 6 months a big blast of acid, so that could have been that. Been experimenting with acid. That was the worst period. That was really awful. Like, huh?
Too much?
What, acid? Oh no, the acid part was wonderful, but the next part after that was awful for about 6 months of this existential despair. It could have been related to the acid, or it could have been my particular time in spirituality. Like really awful, like feeling so alien to my environment, like total alienation and not being able to relax and feeling like not like an outcast, like people had cast me out, but feeling alien, like removed from everything, like really difficult. And I don't know if that was a process or if that was brain damage from all the acid. You know, my brain was recovering, I'm not sure what that was. And that doesn't arise now. Sometimes maybe it does arise, I think if somebody else is experiencing it, like I'm around them, I can feel that alienation, but generally it doesn't. But who knows? It's better not to put too many brackets on it. But if you are feeling alienation or feeling these personality struggles, like if you tell me, I can help by giving you...
I mean, I've noticed like I work a lot with myself, different levels, alternative psychotherapy, you know.
Yeah.
I see it helps me.
Yeah.
But every now and then I still have this like moments that are like, they just happen. I don't know why, and there's no trigger, and I was trying to, is there any trigger or whatever. But it's like, it just happened, it's a state.
Yeah.
And so, in that state, I feel like I don't want to exist. And it's just like, it comes and goes, and I know it comes and goes.
Yeah.
But still, it's something like, it's
Do you,
still like an emptiness that comes
yeah.
from.
And have you got any sense of why that begins?
Well, I know it began in my childhood.
Yeah.
But I wonder, it's like, maybe because I need more work, or maybe it's gonna be forever, and I just have to accept.
When somebody starts to think they don't want to exist, I suspect, even though I can't get inside you and know, and so you have to take this with a pinch of salt. If it resonates, then look at it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. When somebody begins to feel on the personality structure that they don't want to exist, it's because they're stressed with their own existence, like existing is too heavy, it's too much work.
Yeah, and that came from my childhood, and that's like a pattern that my brain uses
Yeah.
in different situations. And
Yeah.
sometimes I don't have it.
And it's a solar plexus issue.
And then sometimes it comes.
Yeah.
And it still comes, and it terrifies me because obviously I don't want it. So.
Yeah. And it's from here. It's to do with doership, but it's to do with this feeling that you can or can't control your environment.
Yes, the second one.
Yeah. And so then what your brain does is it instantly goes to I don't want to exist because it feels overwhelmed.
Yes.
So it's just recognizing all this, and through the recognition it normally begins to recondition itself, or it stops falling into the pit of that. It sees it more lightly, like just recognizing. And then if you get work like acupuncture or work on your solar plexus area. So, and this is the problem when people have this tendency and they get into non-duality, and then it's like when you hear you don't exist, then it's like, oh, phew, like it sort of helps that part, but then it also can be detrimental to that area as well. It's a coping strategy that you learn from your parents.
At the beginning when I got into your advice, it was great
Yeah.
answers to what I was looking for, but then I noticed I have different problems that I have to work on
Yeah.
in order to function in
Yeah,
society
yeah.
and the world. So that took me to a different place, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah.
But it still happens, so it's
Yeah.
like maybe it has to be more work, or maybe it will stay forever, and I don't know.
Yeah, and I think an openness is the best attitude, like that I don't know what's going to happen here, but we just take moment by moment and we work with that. On the human level, that's a good attitude, like not going too much into time about it, and we work from moment to moment. I don't know if it will come again, and if it does, it does.
Because when it's not there, I'm pretty joyful and happy.
Yeah.
And then when it comes, it's like, oh my God, that's it. You
Yeah.
know, it came, you know, and
Yeah.
that's it. And now I'm stuck with that forever.
Yeah.
But it never lasts ever as well, so
Yeah.
it's just the fear that it will come more and more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mental loop.
Yeah. It is a pattern.
But it doesn't feel in that moment. In that
No.
moment, it's so real.
Yeah, it feels truth. And the thing is what the mind does is it always likes to validate everything it says. So one of its great tricks is like, I've always been like this, it's always going to be like this. And this isn't your experience. Your experience is everything changes. But it really likes to hold on to everything, especially when it's painful.
Yeah.
What is the recommendation for acid for enlightenment?
250 milligrams.
The personal experience or recommendation?
Well, what I experienced on acid was that that yourself disappears, because it's impossible to be a self when you're on that much acid.
So does it help?
Well, I don't know if it helps or not, but in the moment of taking it, it's impossible to maintain a sense of self. Then there's other problems that arise with it. Like everything has its karma.
Suppose I ask you a yes or no question. Should a seeker take acid for enlightenment?
Well, most probably not. I most probably recommend against taking acid. It's an amazing experience, but you know, we don't know what. I don't know what that is. I don't want to recommend it to people.
There's a lot of teachers have taken it, Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe go for ayahuasca when it's more controlled. It's similar to ayahuasca.
You've taken that also?
Yeah. Stronger, I felt, ayahuasca. Even though they say it's not a drug, I felt it was stronger, but at least it's in a controlled environment.
It's safe?
Well, it's in a controlled environment. You have people looking after you. Like, you're totally out of it. You're totally dreaming, but the body's awake.
How long does it, how many hours does it last?
Depends how much acid you take.
The strength.
Yeah. And the strength.
Sometimes I think the language we use to describe spirituality is in itself quite a temporary phenomenon, this place and time, and in 50
Totally.
years they'll be laughing at us.
Totally.
You guys, you had no clue, did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like something
And that's the beauty of humanity, is that we evolve. In 50 years' time, we'll have such a better way of describing it, speaking about it. There is no dogma here,
yeah.
and that's beautiful. And it's beautiful that we continuously pass on to the young. It's really
And more
beautiful.
possibilities exist than the greatest yogis in the past ever knew.
Yeah.
I think.
It's not even as separate as that. It's like the greatest yogis in the past are speaking this. And we speak the younger generation, but it's then got the new quality of the younger generation. But the younger generation can't speak without everything else that comes before in the human world. It's a beautiful dance. So there's never a separate person that's speaking. That person is a result of everything that's ever happened. Every word that's been uttered on this subject, it doesn't belong to anyone. and it has the flavor of that particular personality structure and that particular quality, and seeing that as total love, that everything that every yoga's spoken is being spoken now. It's nobody's. It doesn't belong to anyone. And that we are one being in the human race, like we're one functioning evolution in this human race. It's beautiful. We're not separate, surviving for ourselves.
And there's lots of other races.
Yeah. 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 Well, thank you very much. It was beautiful. I'm here for another couple of days, so you're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.